Hello everyone, welcome to Heart It Out with Sai. Now today we'll learn what is the difference between being a psychologist and a psychiatrist, because this is one of the common things which I see everywhere. People, even in today's era, people cannot distinguish between these two professions. They are very closely linked, but they are separate professions, and it is very important for all of us to know distinguish between them and the differences between them, which is very significant, and it is very needed and helpful. We'll get there. So, as I'm a counseling psychologist, so I will start talking about what my profession looks like, and that's uh, that's what is different from a psychiatry, a field of psychiatry, or uh, psychiatrist, to the matter of fact. So psychologists and psychiatrists are very significantly different. Yes. Why? First of all, the study, the field of study, even though it's under a broad umbrella term of psychology, and it is you know almost everything is similar what we study, but there are significant differences. So for a psychologist, there are cases which we deal through different therapeutic techniques, different therapeutic modalities. We learn psychology, we learn all the aspects of psychology, everything, all the subject matters, different branches, scope, roles of different branches, and their different types of work are there, and case studies and research, all these into a broad subject matter, which is the field of psychology. Now, in the field of psychology, there are different branches. Suppose, for an example, neuropsychology, counseling psychology, clinical psychology, and there are many more. List goes on, right? And suppose we take a specific branch, for example, like let's talk about my branch, counseling psychology. It is a specialized course of psychology, right? So in counseling psychology, we just focus on how we do the psychotherapy and counseling of individuals, different cases with different levels of understanding of their cases and their severity and their different types of cases. So that's there. Now, counseling is not just talk therapy, it requires certain skill sets, and it is not just sitting in a session and listening to your client, or uh, giving some suggestions to it. It's not like that. It is more deep rooted, it is a process oriented thing where a counselor and a counselee sit together, set goals, and proceed further with their issues and concerns in a very systematic way, in sometimes structured way, sometimes not so structured way, but definitely a very systematic, scientific, and goal oriented way, where there are so many ethics involved into it, and so many other deeper insight into the subject, and experience of the counselor is also very important. Credibility of the counselor is also very important. Their degrees, where they do their degree from, how many years of work experience they have, what are the cases they have taken. Even if there are young therapists or newcomers, beginners, still how proficiently they take up the sessions, how well, because we always have this bias of taking sessions from old experienced therapists, but young therapists can equally perform well and take up sessions beautifully and heal and help others beautifully, because they can be professional, and they can be proficient and productive, and experts in their own fields, and they know, they might know what they are doing, and they have good case taking abilities, or they have great skill sets. That's what matters in my field, because as I said, counseling requires great depth of skill sets. Then we come to psychiatry. Now, psychiatry is a whole different area. Psychiatry is where you deal with disorders and different types of neurological disorders, psychiatric disorders, and where these professionals, they have done their medical degree, MBBS and MD in psychiatry, and these professionals are the doctors into this field, and they are treating the cases with medications. That's the first thing. They are treating with different sort of drug therapy, different sort of pharmaceutical processes, approaches, right? They are treating clients with different pharmaceutical approaches. They're treating clients, the very clients which we also sometimes treat with therapeutic approaches, but psychiatrists, they treat it with medicines or medications. So that's the very, distinguished differences in both the fields. And in psychology, broadly, we have different other domains and subdomains, and we have different other branches. There are new branches coming up, just like sports psychology and positive psychology, and we have so many other branches of psychology, forensic psychology, and different other branches, where these sub branches and domains and subdomains, they are specialized into those domains, those professionals, and they are treating their cases. So the case is also niche down, it's more niche oriented, narrows down into specific ways of dealing, and specific things, specific cases related to specific population, and case by case basis. So that's very bottleneck, that's very oriented to specificities, right? So this is the differences which most of us struggle, and less lack of self-awareness is there, or lack of awareness is there. That's why I wanted to clear this out with the clarifications that a psychiatrist, if you're seeking a psychiatrist for any mental health disorders or concerns, suppose for example sleep related issues, both psychologists and psychiatrists treat this. But if you need medication, you should check with a psychiatrist and then come to a psychologist for healthy sleep habits to build up, right? Through counseling or something like that, healthy sleep habits to build up. Or suppose you're dealing with chronic depression. So first you go to a psychiatrist, check your medications, if you require any medications or not, and they will help you up with it. Or even a clinical psychologist to assess you with the clinical side of the psychopathology of depression. And then if you want any lifestyle changes, you want to work on yourself, your anhedonia, your symptom of lack of interest in your activities, and you're not feeling like doing something, social withdrawals, you can come back to a counseling psychologist or a counselor and work on these aspects of your daily living, lifestyle, and things like that. And yes, treating yourself better and self-care and all these things. So these are ways how you can help yourself and your family members if in need of any mental health crisis or emergency, or any mental health conditions you're suffering, or your family members or people around your circle are suffering, you can help them, refer to, right? Thank you so much. Heart it out with Sai. Stay blessed. Bye bye.